Welcome back once again to the news media. Now, ladies and gentlemen, President William Ruto have been forced to reach out to the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, few hours ago after several Kenyan MPs alongside Kenyan citizens rejected Ebola quarantine center that is being set up in Laikipia County after a successful deal between William Ruto and the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, which is true. Kenyans does not want this quarantine center to be built in Laikipia because there is no one in Kenya that have been affected by this disease.
Yani mtu akipatikana na Ebola kule Minnesota analetwa Laikipia Kenya. Mwamerika akipatikana na Ebola kule Washington DC ama Michigan analetwa Laikipia Kenya. Mwamerika akipatikana na Ebola kule South Africa ama DRC ama kule Uganda analetwa Laikipia Kenya kwa quarantine. Analetwa Laikipia Kenya. Na sisi kama Wakenya tunataka kusema hivi kwamba we want to tell President Ruto, please, Kenya is a sovereign nation. Kenya is not an isolation ward for Ebola patients in the world. Kenya is not an isolation ward.
So why do you want to import a dangerous disease in Kenya, Mr. President? And that is why I told you on this platform that this country of Kenya does not have a CS of health, someone that can be called a CS of health.
So I want to tell the CS that we will resist, that Alupe Hospital cannot be made an isolation center for Ebola. Whereas I support the government initiative for preparedness to protect the people of Busia because we are at the border, let another venue be identified to build that isolation center. But Alupe will not be converted, Honorable Speaker.
Robert Mbui. Minister, I hope you are recording the members and the questions.
I have to.
Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, listening to the CS, he was very clear when he said that Kenya has no cases of Ebola. And Mr. Speaker, the ministry should endeavor to ensure that Kenyan citizens are safe, because that is the purpose of this ministry. Now, we know that Ebola is highly contagious. There is this agreement that he says there is, because of sub judice, he cannot maybe table it before us. But Mr. Speaker, I want to ask him to just clarify. In that agreement, which is between Kenya and the US...
He didn't say that. He didn't say he cannot table. In fact, the
because
agreement
he has not
is...
tabled, Mr. Speaker.
The agreement is here.
Oh, we have it, okay.
Yes.
Or the court case, the matters
he said
that
he will not delve into matters
case.
sub judice.
So, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to just find out, where in that agreement does it say that we can expose Kenyan citizens at the expense so that we can be able to save citizens of the US? It's very important that he points out that, because in my opinion, I think that cannot have been something that this House would have passed. And Mr. Speaker, finally, I also want him to clarify, is it true that this center that is supposed to be built in Mount Kenya region is supposed to be only meant to be used by US citizens and not Kenyans? He needs to clarify that for us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Dindi Nyoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for this chance. And direct to the point, I have listened to the CS, and there is actually no space in his speech about the view of Kenyans. I'm yet to meet one single Kenyan who is in support of having this quarantine in Kenya, Honorable Speaker. And it is important for the government to know that the government exists for the welfare of Kenyans. And Kenyans know when their space is being cropped, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the US budget in terms of health is 860 times ours. Their technology is better in all respects, including biotech, Honorable Speaker. They have better capacity to handle these kind of issues than Kenya. Honorable Speaker, while the CS is here, I would request him. Kenyans have spoken in one voice. We do not want that facility of Ebola here in Kenya. Please listen to the Kenyan voices. And Honorable Speaker, as the CS is here, the CS should actually fight himself and the obligations to what the Kenyans are looking forward to. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, in terms of the fragility of our health sector, and also listening to some officials from the US proclaiming clearly that they do not want any case of Ebola in their country, how reckless would the government be in doing exactly the same that which the country, that is the US, do not want in their soil? As Kenyans, we refuse. The government must listen to Kenyans and desist from having this quarantine in Kenya.
Yes, Mama Zamzam.
Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Aden Duale was appointed by Ruto to help Ruto make things easier whenever Ruto wants to do anything that you want. Duale is just earning salary there. There is nothing that Duale is helping Kenyans with. In fact, all the ministers, all the CSS under the government of William Ruto are not independent. They are busy serving the interest of President William Ruto. They are not neutral, which is true. Yesterday, I was shocked the way Aden Duale was answering some of the questions that was being asked by Jeff Koinange. I was shocked. If these are the CSS that we have in this country of Kenya, we still have a long way to go. And that is the reason why this issue of Singapore is just a dream. Hakuna kitu kama hii ati Singapore. With the kind of leadership that we are having in this country of Kenya, hakuna Singapore. There is no way that we can go to Singapore, yet this country of Kenya is being led by cartels. People are just there because of their stomach. Hakuna kitu kama Singapore, tuseme tu kweli. Because our ministers, our CSS are not independent. They are not serving the interests of Kenyan equally. They are busy serving the interest of President William Ruto because they are being paid. And that is the reason why I have been, in my analysis, I keep on reminding my viewers on my other YouTube channel that it was high time for a new law to be added within our constitution of Kenya that ban and block any elected president from controlling national assemblies in Kenya, from controlling courts alongside a cabinet secretary ministry. It is high time. It is high time for that law to be added where the president can't have power to control his ministers alongside his CSS. Like right now, William Ruto have officially dispatched some of the ODM CSS, not some, all of ODM CSS to start campaigning for him. Yet, the Constitution of Kenya does not allow that one. Wamekuwa wakisema mambo ya Singapore ati tutaenda Singapore. Have you ever seen the CS of Treasury of Singapore on top of their sunroof vehicle campaigning, roaming across the country of Kenya, chanting 2-term, 10 bila break? Ushawahi waona? Have you ever seen the CS of Health? In fact, these ministers, these CSS, should not even be interviewed. They should be indoors in their offices serving the interests of the people of Kenya, but not the interests of the government. But here in Kenya, our ministers, our CSS are busy involving themselves into the political affairs. Because number one, they don't know why they were appointed there. They don't fit those offices that they are occupying. Tuseme tu kweli. Hakuna kazi inawafanya. 80% of ministers and CSS under the government of William Ruto are busy earning salary for no reason at the end of the month. They're just wasting taxpayer, the tax of Kenya, taxpayers' money. Wanaribu tu pesa yetu bure tu. How can a whole CS of health speak like that on a national television? We don't need to question, we don't need to ask Kenyans if you want to build a quarantine center in Laikipia, Jimara Nini. How? Even if the law allow you to do that one. But sometimes there are some of the things that you don't need to allow in this country of Kenya. It is true. It is true that law can allow you to do some of the things without doing public participation. Because if they are urgent things. So you want to tell us that this issue of Ebola is an urgent thing? Yes, it is so. It might be urgent, but it is urgent for another country, for US. So you are just happy to import a disease here in Kenya. This was the time for Kenya Kwanza government to prepare themselves on how we can prevent this disease, but not to allow other people to come here in Kenya and affect us. Hey, It is tungekaa tu hapa tujiprepare, tufanye 1 2 3, tutengeneza hiyo quarantine zetu tu, lakini si ati tunaleta wale watu. Building a quarantine center in Laikipia is not a problem. The problem is that why are you importing the deceased people in Kenya? And you know very well that this disease is too dangerous. It is something that can cause unnecessarily death in this country of Kenya if we are not strong. Whereby, if it was possible, whereby sometimes if it can be possible for us, 58 million Kenyans or 57, we can even go there. We can go and camp in Laikipia Air Base if it is possible. I'm just saying if it is possible, because we don't know what can happen tomorrow. And you know what happened in 2019 during the coronavirus, how Kenyans were suffering, hakukuwa na kazi, there was lockdown, sijimara nini, during the government of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Whereby right now, after the president will realize that the pressure is now mounting left, right, and center, they are now feeling the heat. They have now come up with another idea of scripting that this deal of Ebola was signed in 2019. And if it was signed in 2019, how comes that Ruto is now telling Kenyans that Trump is the person who reached out to him again? If this deal was signed during when he was the deputy president, hangekuwa na wasiwasi, si angepiga tu Trump, angemwambia tu it is true, now nakuja saizi, I'm bringing these people there to Kenya. Why are they communicating again? Kama hii ilikuwa ni mpango wenye walishapanga kitambo, why are they communicating? What is the communication for? At your Trump reach out to me so that I can assist him. It is not bad to assist another country, but you need to look out. You need to see what you are assisting. Is this something that can cause chaos, cause unnecessarily death? Ama ni tu kitu yenye watu wanaweka tu? We need to be very careful with this crisis of Ebola in this country, because we are having so many urgent things, but the government of Kenya is not looking about it. Tuko na vitu mingi. Like right now, mambo ya mvua, El Nino. We are going, very soon we are going to expect a serious heavy rainfall in this country of Kenya. Instead of the government of Kenya preparing for that heavy rainfall, they are not doing that one. Their first priority is to make sure that Ebola Quarantine Center is being completed in Laikipia, whereby right now it is something that is underway. Instead of, again, preparing our doctors in Kenya ahead of this disease, they are busy setting up a quarantine center in Laikipia. What for? You need to prepare these doctors because they are the people that are going to handle this disease. Our doctors are facing poor payment. Our doctors are facing poor working conditions, but that one is not priority to the government of the day. Their priority is something that can give them money. That is something that they are focusing for. Thank you so much, and may God bless you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your time to listen to our analysis. Let us meet in the next video that is going to be uploaded shortly within no time. Remember to subscribe, comment, and like for more updates daily. Keep it locked at at Danny's Media. Bye bye.